guys, and welcome back to Discover with Pharrell. I hope you're doing fine wherever you are. I'm doing good, and oh my goodness, thank you so much, guys, for your support. Thank you for your subscriptions. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so right now. Don't hesitate to do it. So just hit that button, okay, down there. So thank you, guys. Thank you for your support. I appreciate. I was so happy. Thank you for the massive support that you have shown me. I appreciate so much, and may God bless you. And also, if you are, you're a subscriber, please hit the notification bell so that when I upload a video, you can be notified whenever a new video comes in. So, guys, we are family, and we are here to learn together, to learn from each other. Also the teacher get some ideas from the students. So if you feel you have something, or if you feel we should discuss something, please comment below. Okay, yeah. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. So welcome back to Discover with Pharrell, where we discover ourselves. And sometimes, so why do we say Discover with Pharrell? You might be asking yourself so many questions about it. Because I need every person who is watching this, to discover themselves, their internal selves, where their motivation comes from. Because I want you, before you leave this earth, to have discovered yourself and to have discovered what you came in here for. Let us not waste a lot of time outside there doing unnecessary things, doing things that we were not destined to do. So you need to discover yourself, and that's why I said, well, I need to come up with something so that we can educate each other, so that we can help each other in this journey of life, because it's a journey. So that when you're old, when you just sit there chilling, and you'll be like, wow, looking back, you're like, I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my youth. So yeah. Come on board. Tell your friends, come here, let us discover ourselves. And I hope you guys, after a short period of time, will have better and good results. So as I promised, I have a couple of videos coming. I have a lot of interviews lined up from people who have various experiences here and there, and we shall learn from them. So just tune in for every video that is dropping each and every time. So today I want to just continue with my story, and so from where we left. So as I said earlier, this is my second year here in the US, and well, God has been great. So yeah, so after I'm here just to encourage somebody, because I've heard a lot of questions about moving to the US, and I thought people don't want to give information outside there, and it's not easy giving people information outside there. So I said I'll do a couple of videos before I go to my main content, or why I created this YouTube channel. So that if you're out there and you want to move, you've won a green card or something, you have a scholarship, you're coming to do anything here, or you're coming as a permanent resident, you're coming as a visitor, at least you have an idea of how life is and how you approach life, from people who have a little bit of experience. I don't have all the answers, but I think it's good to give some information to some people outside there. So I said, so this is my second year here, and so I gave out. If you have not watched my last two videos, they explain the process of green card application, how the most important things, and I know this is the period whereby people are applying. So if you have applied, if you have won the previous lottery, so I think when I first came here, so there are some important things that you need to do when you arrive here. So one, so you need to get your green card, your permanent resident card. So and that, you just when you come here, before you get in here, or when you're preparing to come from Kenya, so make sure you pay your $220 so that they can be processing the card, as you travel. So when you get here, make sure you get your card, you apply, and then it will take like, probably some 2 weeks to a month, it depends. And then the next thing that you need to apply for is your social security number, because you cannot work anywhere here without it. So if you're a permanent resident, if you're a student, they'll give you your social security. That will make sure that you get a job wherever you want to work legally. So yeah, those are most of the most important things. And then go to driving school, get your driver's license. It is very important because here we don't have a lot of public transport, so people need cars, to get to work, to get to school, to get, to the stores, everywhere. So, but now, yeah, some people outside there, they think when you win a green card and you come in here, they have everything for you. No, 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 no. That the government provides you with a house, with a car, with food, with clothing, with everything. So I had so many stories when I was back home that people, people think that the government provides everything. No, 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 no. There will be no house for you. There will be no car for you waiting for you. There will be nothing. So the only thing the government gives you is the residence, your status. So come here, register, and then start finding a job, start finding your own means of transport. Everything is under you. You're just given out, some permanent residency. So you're gonna know who will host you after that. You're gonna know where you live, what car you drive, what job you do. Yeah, so you're just starting afresh, like a new person. So there are so many things to consider. You have to be really, really prepared to come here and start afresh. So don't just say, okay, I've gotten that opportunity. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be a smooth road. No, you're gonna have to make a decision and be ready for what is coming. Yeah, story time. I don't know if you're ready, but I think you are. Yeah, so this is my story. I'm not talking about any other thing apart from my story, because before I moved here, I had a lot of expectations. People used to talk about the land of milk and honey, where everything is possible. And yes, everything is possible here. This is a country where everything is possible. If you are a dreamer and if you have a vision. And so, well, I boarded. Yes, I boarded. I'll not say I'm not boarding. I boarded. The flight here was like 22 hours. Yeah, from Kenya to here. Of course, it was a connecting flight. So yeah. So when I came in, it was like in October. So was fall was starting. So yeah, it was very beautiful. And yeah, so we came here. So now, as I said, you don't expect nothing. So back home, I was an occupational therapist. And so I was like so excited because I've been Googling how much occupational therapists make in the US. And I was like, wow, by the next few months, I'm gonna be a millionaire. That thing of just converting the dollar to the Kenya shillings. Oh my, that is one thing you shouldn't do. Yeah, so we're here, I come here, The first few days is just resting, the jet lag and everything, getting acclimatized to everything here, the people. And so, yeah, the first week, the second week. So, I think the second week, we applied for my social security. And because I had paid for my green card back home, so it didn't take a long time. I think it took like 3 weeks, and then it came by mail. So afterwards, then now we applied for the social security, came out, it was great. And so I'm like, asking my host, oh, when am I gonna start working? I was like, oh, I've stayed in the house for a long, long time. So when am I gonna start working? And he's like, okay, relax, you know. And I remember my friends used to tell me, just relax. You want to work? Okay, you will, and you tell us afterwards. Well, yeah. Fast forward. So we went to a hiring agency, and I'm like, wow. So things started to come out slowly by slowly. Here they don't recognize your education, like the papers you have. I was like, wait a minute, what kind of job am I gonna do? I used to work in a hospital, so I was applying here and there. I called the Occupational Therapy Board of Georgia, and they told me, without a master's degree, you cannot practice as an occupational therapist. And I was like, what? Yeah, so they said you need, I told them, I was practicing back home, and they were like, no, 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 here, the minimum to practice as an OT is like a master's. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. So I think it took a lot of time for that to hit home, that I have to go back to school to start all over again. My hopes of becoming rich, started, fading slowly by slowly. So I think I got my first job in a warehouse, and where I was like, wow, okay, it's kind of manual labor, and it took some time for me to just get used to everything. But yeah, when you have a vision, I had a vision, I had a reason why I came here, and so you just get used, go to the system. When you go to Rome, do as they do. Just go. If you want to change a person, a society, just go to where they are, be like them, live like them. So, and that's what I said. Okay, I'll just take everything a step at a time. So, yeah, so I think I worked there for like 6 months, and then I changed later on. Yeah, so the process is still, it's still sinking in that I cannot work as an occupational therapist like I used to work back home. And if I was to tell people back home what I'm doing, they'll be like, what? We thought you were a doctor, you work in a hospital. And I was like, yeah, people need to understand what happens here, and they don't understand, because they think, well, when you come here, life is flourishing, life is, like you collect money on the streets, but that's not the case. So yeah, but then I made a decision. I said, okay, I have to go back to school. So the first thing I did was just set my transcript to World Education Services, so that they can get analyzed, translated into the American system, so that now I can know where to start, because I didn't want to start from zero. So that is what I did. I sent my transcript. No, I called my college back home. I told them they should send the transcripts to World Education Services, and that's what exactly they did. And so when the results came back, they were like, okay, you have a 3-year program. equivalent, 3 equivalency to the US system. I was like, okay, wow. So with that, I was able to approach the colleges here, and they were able to take some of my credits instead of starting from zero. And so what I want to say is that it's a journey, you know, moving from where you came from. It's a journey. You have to accept it. You have to accept change, however big the change is. However, how the difference of life here and life back home, you have to accept those changes, and you have to learn how to live with the changes. Yeah, so life is a lot different from Kenya to here. It's very different. And so yeah, I made a very fast decision, and if you don't do that, you'll be swallowed by the many things that happen here. So if you don't purpose, or if you don't have a goal in your life, you'll be just there working every day, check by check, and then it's hard to develop. So I think yeah, it's some of the things that I saw here was a culture shock, sometimes. And I think one of the things that made me like, okay, this is I don't know. So like going out for lunch, or you're going out with friends, and then when the bill comes, so everybody is like, okay, everybody will pay their part. I was used to, like, when I invite you for dinner or when I invite you for lunch, I'm paying for it. So here, splitting checks was, like a shock. And I'm like, wow, okay, yeah. So, but for me, it's not a thing with me. I don't really fancy that. I don't know. So it's either I like paying, or if either of us pays, there's no trouble. But if you want me to pay for you, I'll pay for you. So that is one thing, that is very different from home. So I think when you come here, it's not easy at first. When you move to a new place, it's not very easy. But then, as I said earlier, if you purpose for things to be easy for you, if you have a goal, and if you have a plan, a forecast plan, if you have a vision for your life, then life will be very simple, because you will meet a lot of people outside there. Yes, they came here maybe from Kenya, but the life they are leading, maybe they are homeless in the streets because they made the wrong decisions. So that is what we're saying. If you make the right decisions, then there's life here. Then you have that milk and honey. But if you're swallowed by the word here, then it will be very hard for you. So yeah, so I encourage people to, like, try your luck, come, experience for yourself. If you want to stay, if you want to go back. So that is my advice to people. And so yeah, continue discovering yourself. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it.